we are going to discuss how to design the heat exchanger which is going to subject to the fouling. So for design, although fouling is a time dependent, only a fixed value can be prescribed during the design stage. The operating characteristic and the cleaning schedule of the heat exchanger depend on the designing of the fouling factor. Many heat exchanger operators operate for a long period without any cleaning, while others might require a frequent cleaning. A number of different approaches are used to provide allowance for the fouling, all of which result in an excess surface area for the heat transfer to compensate the additional resistance which is going to provide by the fouling. Now, method to include specifying fouling resistance, the cleanliness factor which is denoted by CF, and the percentage over surface. The first one is fouling resistance. The common practice is to prescribe a fouling resistor or the fouling factor on each side of the surface where fouling is going to anticipate it. The result is a lower overall heat transfer coefficient. Consequently, excess surface area is provided to achieve the specific heat transfer area, because we know that if overall heat transfer coefficient is going to decrease due to the fouling, then overall heat transfer rate is going to decrease. So, to achieve a specific heat transfer rate, now we have only one option. We have to increase the area, because we know the equation is Q is equal to UA delta T. So the area of the heat exchanger is in our hand. So to compensate effect of the fouling, after calculating decrease the overall heat transfer coefficient, we can increase the area to get a specified heat transfer rate. The heat exchanger will perform satisfactorily until the specified value of the fouling resistance is reached, after which it must be cleaned. The second factor which we need to define is a cleanliness factor, which is denoted by CF, which is developed, this term is developed by steam power industries. The CF is related to overall heat transfer coefficient when the heat exchanger is fouled to when it is clean. It is generally a ratio of overall heat transfer coefficient of the fouled surface to the clean surface. So this approach provides a fouling allowance that varies directly with clean surface overall heat transfer coefficient. Now we have this equation CF is equal to UF divided by UC. From the previous lecture, we have RF, or we can say that fouling factor, which is reciprocal of the fouling coefficient, is equal to 1 upon U dot, or we can say that 1 upon UF minus 1 upon UC. Now, from this equation, we can write 1 upon UF is equal to 1 upon UC plus RF fouling factor, or we can write RF by simplifying this equation. We will get RF is equal to 1 minus CF upon UC by CF, UC into CF, or CF is equal to 1 upon 1 plus RF UC. So now from this equation, there is a figure which shows the relation between the overall heat transfer coefficient for the clean surface to the total fouling resistance with a cleanliness factor CF. This shows the fouling resistance versus clean surface overall heat transfer in an x-axis coefficient curves for various cleanliness factor. As you can see in this figure, as the overall heat transfer coefficient for the clean surfaces decreases, the cleanliness factor shows the higher fouling resistance. So because as the flow velocity is low, there is a chances of fouling, more fouling, and due to the more fouling, the fouling resistance value is going to be increased. So the fluid velocity, as fluid velocities becomes higher, the chances of fouling becomes lower, so resistance for the fouling is also going to be lower. Now, from the figure, illustrate that the given CF will respond to higher fouling resistance if the overall heat transfer coefficient is low, as we have just discussed. Now, what is percent over surface? So, to an approach, the designer simply adds a certain percentage of clean surface area to compensate or to account for the fouling. Now, how to calculate how much area should be added to compensate the foul resistance? So, just we need to use this equation which we have already derived in our previous lecture, that AF by AC is equal to 1 plus UC RF. Now, from this equation, we can write down this equation that AF by AC minus 1 is equal to UC into RF, multiplying 100 at the both sides, so we can get over if heat transfer rate and fluid temperature under clean and foul conditions are same, The percent over surface, this OS representing percent over surface, can be obtained by using this equation. So by using this equation, we will get how much extra area we need to provide to compensate fouling. Now let's discuss techniques to control fouling. There are some techniques to control fouling. Basically, it classified in two ways. First is surface cleaning techniques, and second one is use of additives to control the fouling. The surface cleaning technique is further classified in two ways: continuous cleaning, and the second one is a periodic cleaning. In a continuous cleaning, there is a two method. First one is a sponge ball cleaning, and second one is a brush cleaning. So to understand what is sponge ball cleaning, let's see this video, from which you can clearly understand what is a sponge ball cleaning. In this method, one ball type material which is used in a heat exchanger to clean the fouling surface. So this is the collector at which all the balls are collected. Now we have to provide additional valve for the flow of this sponge ball. So as you can see, this sponge ball removes the fouled particles from this inner surface of the pipe of the heat exchanger. After that, it is going to be collected at ball trap valve. So this is the method which is known as sponge ball cleaning. The next one is a brush cleaning. You can clearly understand how this works from this video. Number of brush is small brushes are inserted in the hole of the pipe. Then at high pressure, the water flow throughout the pipe, which results in axial flow of this brush, which results in cleaning of the inside surface of the pipe. Dirt and deposits are instantly removed from the surface. So this is how this brush cleaning works. There are different type of brush according to the fouling deposits. Now let's discuss about periodic cleaning. Periodic cleaning is further classified in mechanical cleaning as well as in a chemical cleaning. In a mechanical cleaning, there is a use of high pressure water jets, steam, brushes and water guns. In a chemical cleaning, there is a use of some dissolved deposits by chemical reaction with the cleaning fluids. So the advantage of chemical cleaning is that it cleans hard to reach area. So how mechanical cleaning works, let's see this video to understand. This is a video of high pressure water jet is used for cleaning purpose. last, the chemical cleaning. So let's understand how chemical cleaning works. Now, the second is additives. So there is a use of some additives for crystallization fouling, particulate fouling, biological fouling, and at last corrosion fouling. So first one is a crystallization fouling. So for crystal modification by chemical additives is used to make deposit easier to remove. Second is for particulate fouling. So for particulate fouling, to increase an outlet temperature value of the exhaust gas above the melting point of the particulate, so that all particulate above the melting point is going to dissolve in the steam or dissolve due to the higher temperature, which is decreasing particles fouling done. The third one is biological foul. So chemical removal using continuous or periodic injection of chlorine and other biocides is most common to remove biological fouling. At last, corrosion fouling. So for the corrosion fouling, additives are used to produce protective film on the metal surface, because we know that the corrosion fouling occurs mostly at the fluid side of the heat exchanger. So corrosion pollutions in the heat exchanger depends on the temperature of the exhaust steam. Since there are electrochemical reactions on active metal surfaces, increasing a stream velocity up to maximum value will also increase the corrosion rate. So pH value plays an important role in this fouling. Where steel surfaces have pH value in the range of 11 to 12, there is a corrosion occurred. So these are the different techniques to control the fouling. So till now we have discussed what is fouling, different aspects of the fouling, the sequence of the fouling from the starting initial stage to the aging stage, effect of fouling on the cost, effect of fouling on the pressure drop and the heat transfer rate, and the techniques to minimize or remove the fouling. So this is the fouling which is most important parameter, we can say that, which is most important thing for any designer to design a heat exchanger. So that's it for today. Thank you so much.